I just come running upstairs. Am I live? Can you see and hear me, everybody? Good evening. Welcome, and thank you for joining me on a really wet and gloomy Wednesday, isn't it? It's not. I'm not feeling the summer vibes at all today. I've had to put a jumper on. I'm feeling quite chilly, but I've got a fab collection which is going to make it feel like summer in your craft room, even if we're not looking out the window at the sunshine. And there's lots of you on already, so thank you for joining me this evening. I hope you can see and hear me. Mr. G is checking. He's on standby just to double check that I am broadcasting loud and clear. Oh, it's all working, Mrs. G, says Mr. G, who's having a pizza again. He loves Wednesdays because he always gets to have a pizza. Hi, Paul. Hi, Avril. Hi, Carol. Lovely to see you. Hi, Steph. Karen, Julie. Oh, Melanie. Oh, so many of my lovely friends on tonight. Hi, Lynn. Dawn. Shannon. Oh, it's great to have you all. And Kath. Great. You're all here. You're all ready. You're ready to see another collection from Funky Fossil. I love it. Hi, Adele. You made it on time. Very good. I'm waiting to see if Karen... Oh, Karen is here. Karen's making some gammon for me for my tea tonight because she's told me what's on the menu and I've decided I'd like gammon. Donna, Jan. I don't think... excuse me. I don't think Ali will be on because she's obviously had a kind of bereavement this week, so I don't have my little kind of wing person to check on comments and to pick a winners of the giveaway. So I think we'll have to do it like we've been doing it recently, where I announce 2 giveaway winners straight after the live in the Facebook group. So if you don't normally follow Fun with Funky Fossil on Facebook, then I will try and message you as well if you're somebody who wins one of the giveaway prizes. And to win, all you need to do is comment and take part in the chat as we go through the live this evening. But also, if you can like and share, it's fabulous for increasing the reach of our little channel and our little brand and making more and more people aware that we're live on a Wednesday night. I'm looking down at the chat and seeing names. Hi, Catherine. No, I was in contact with Laura today. The collection is live on Create and Craft. This is the Mermaid collection. Is live on Create and Craft on Monday, Bank Holiday Monday. I've got 2 shows at 5 and 8, so it'll be part of the lineup on the counter on Monday. So you'll be able to see it then. I'm sure you're very excited. Hi, Christine. Oh, have we got to be quick, Christine, so we don't miss you. You don't miss the reveal before you have to go. Oh, thanks, Don. I'm glad you like the succulents folder. I'm hoping. Well, I know for sure that all of the orders from the shows on Create and Craft last night have left the building. They all have been dispatched. So I'm hoping they're all starting to land with you, which it sounds like they are. And then I had loads of orders on the shop, which is really much appreciated. Thank you so much. And they've all gone out now. Most of them went on Monday, and then I had another batch go out today. So fingers crossed, if you haven't already had your order, it is on its way to you. As you know, you can always give me a shout if something's missing or you haven't had it as quickly as you expected. And it feels like a kind of public service broadcasting announcement, but because I've seen names of friends on here. Julie, I have sent now your missing order, so that's gone on the post today. Dawn, your order has gone in the post today as well, so it just saves me sending emails back. Who else is on? Hi, Jane. Thank you for sharing. And Jane Bolton, Jane Davison, Jane Bolton, 2 more lovely friends joining us. You've got a pass set, good. So we've had some fantastic collections releasing recently. We've had the signature wallet with the succulents in. I will be taking that back to Create and Craft on Monday as well. So if you did miss my headliner shows last week, you'll be able to see it again on Monday. We've had the fantastic mermaids, which is Laura's first designs. Daisy Ray Designs is her online name and name of her Etsy shop. But we've had that, and that's been super popular on the shop, and will now be on Create and Craft on Monday. We've had the Mediterranean Moods, which I still love it. I just think it's a fantastic collection, something a bit different, but something that I think we can all relate to, and got a nice summery feel to it. And then this is really the last. So what I'm showing with you tonight is our last stop before Christmas. I know, Christmas as in Christmas in June, of course. So I've got a headliner in the Christmas event on Create and Craft, which is amazing for my brand to get a headliner slot in the Christmas event. So I've got a fantastic Christmas collection coming up at towards the end of June. And that's kind of why these collections have been coming thick and fast, because the collection that I'm launching or sharing with you this evening, that's going to launch on Monday, will be the last new collection before Christmas. Because we've got a few days as a family away in Spain at the beginning of June, so I'm really trying to kind of get all the kind of summer newness and goodness out to you before we get into Christmas season. And I know I'm sorry about Christmas in June. I know some of you love it. I know I was chatting with Sue today on Messenger, and she's like giddy about Christmas in June, but it's not for everybody so early in the year, is it? But it is a rather awesome collection. I'm really, really excited and proud of it. It's had Olga's input. So for those of you that have been missing new designs by Olga, it's going to have some of Olga's fantastic work in there. And yeah, I'm not going to say too much. I'm not going to spill any more beans, but you will know about it when we start to release Christmas, because I will be making a lot of noise and sharing lots of sneak peeks and demos, because I'm really, really excited about it. I know, I'm sorry, Sarah. I know I'm mentioning Christmas, and we're not really feeling the summer vibes yet, are we? So, but it's definitely worth. I'm going to be taking with me to Spain. Let's put it that way. I'm going to be putting the Christmas collection in our luggage, so I'm hoping we don't kind of have our luggage searched, because I think they'll be very bemused about why this woman's got a load of Christmas stuff in her suitcase in June on the way to Spain. But I'm really looking forward to playing with it and having a bit of a time with it while we're away. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're talking flamingos this evening, so it's definitely all out for the summer. The lovely bright colours, that's tropical feel. So we're in the Mediterranean last week. This week we're feeling a little bit more tropical, and I'm going to be sharing this new collection, which is by Art Journal Love, aka the lovely Claire Stead. And I was going to say it's been a while since Claire's last collection, and I'm just trying to think when it was. I think it was February, so not that long. She had the rainbows out, didn't she? Maybe it was January or February. So this is a fantastic collection. A bit different in style for Claire as well. So I can't wait to share it with you. Jane, you've done next year's Christmas cards. Well, young lady, you'll have to do them all again, because you'll be like, oh, I've got to make my Christmas cards with Sarah's new Christmas collection. So sorry about that. You've obviously made them far too early. It is actually a very timeless classic Christmas collection, Jane, you'll be glad to know. So you'll be fine for years to come. You can make 2026's cards with it. That's making me feel slightly queasy. Caroline, lovely to see you. You've got them, have you? Fantastic. So you've got your papers and stencils. So I'm looking forward to seeing lots of Mediterranean inspiration in the feed as you all start to get the designs home and play with them. And remember, our challenge on the Facebook group this month is that kind of summer vibes, some shades of summer challenge. So if you do get them in the next few days and we do get a wet weekend, then of course make sure you put any of your makes into that challenge folder in the Facebook group. You could be in with a chance of winning. Right, I know you can always be swayed, Jane. I have faith. I have faith that you will be persuaded by my collection. So I'm very, you know how distracted I get by all your comments. 500 cards, Julie. 500 cards. Good grief. I think that would be my lifetime of card making, not just Christmas. Right. I've got a couple of demos that I want to do with this superb collection. I don't have a huge number of samples. The stamps were a bit later than scheduled in arriving with us. So the design team haven't had a huge amount of time to have a play with this. So the lovely Sarah has got her samples. And I know you're on, Sarah. I'm sure I've seen your name pop up. So evening, lovely, and thank you. So Sarah's samples are with us, so we can have a look at those. And I know Brian's will be on their way ready for the shows on Monday. But in lieu of having lots of samples to take you through, hopefully that means I can make a bit more time to do a demo with this fab designs. In fact, I've been kind of having a bit of play with them this evening. I've got so many ideas. It'll be more than 2 years to get 500 cards done. Good grief, Adele. Oh, you are there, Sarah. Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate, and the fabulous samples. Right, shall we turn this camera around? You're fed up of looking at this. Let's look at some fantastic crafty items. Ta-da! Oh, I should have a little sound effect, shouldn't I? Something better than that, anyway. I'm the same, Shannon. One a week. Yeah, I'd be pleased with one a week. 500 cards, Julie. That's epic. So here we go. We've got an amazing set of products from Claire, and she's not on the live tonight because Claire does her own live in her group Art Journal Love every Wednesday. So she will be being live somewhere else, but I know you'll see lots of samples, reels, demos from Claire, because she's great at creating content with them, with her products. So there'll be lots more to come. In fact, they only literally landed with her today, so I know she'll be having a play with them over the next few days, and you'll see the results of that. I never know where to start with the collection. What did I say? Did I say what the giveaway was? I'm going to give away 2 of these collections. I'm going to give away 2 of what you see on the desk before me. So that's what you're looking out for when we've come off air, and I put the names of 2 winners in the Facebook group. It will be 2 winners of this. So there you go. Definitely a prize worth winning. I'm going to start with the papers. You know, I always like to start. It's a cool stencil, this stuff. I think you'll like it. Yes, I try and coordinate everything in my life with Tony Darroch, Adele, as you know. So yes, of course, it had to be the matching pink. The papers give you that little bit of a flavour of the directions you can take this collection in. We all know stamps can go in any variety of directions, and you're all very creative in how you use them. The papers are going to give you a little bit of a feel for some of the things you can do. And this is one of the paper pads. We don't do it every time, but this is one of those 8x8 paper pads where we've also got a sheet of elements that you can use for sentiments. And the reason I'm doing that in this 8x8 pad is Claire does a lot of art journaling, and the scaling of sentiments that might work for an art journal page is often quite difficult to do on a stamp set, because you don't get as much imagery on the stamp set. So I've got some bigger sentiments on here that will work for those larger projects or journaling, if that's what you do. Watch out for these fabulous leaves there come in, and I love these. I love these flamingos in kind of the kind of lilo watering flamingos. I think they're so cute. So yeah, they are cuttable outables, Paul. That's right, I copyrighted that phrase. I'm always swinging it too, Adele. So black and white, you can add your colour. You know this is uncoated, and because this is a paper pad with 3 sheets of 12 designs, you know you're going to have 3 of these sheets to work with. So you know you can be cutting out and layering up as you would like to. So this great kind of starting point, which obviously extends the stamps, Or if you only buy the paper pad, almost gives you a project in the pad. You've got focal points and sentiments to work with too. As you'll know from Claire's paper pads, we often get kind of mixed media backgrounds that she's created herself that are converted into the paper. So here you've got, obviously you can see the kind of that water effect. And this, as Steph already noted, kind of echoes the stencil, which is almost those pools of water, the puddles or the ripples. So it's great to have it in that scale too. So you can imagine using your Starlight paste with this stencil on that paper, or if you've got them, you could use say like the Santorini blue from our new embossing powders through the stencil onto the paper. You know how much I love to kind of further embellish or adapt the papers. Love this fabulous stripes, that kind of could be a beach towel. Obviously it's the flamingo pink, again that watercolor effect there from Claire's background. Here's one where she's used one of her previous stencils, the big foliage stencil, so that's what you're seeing used in this background. Again, quite nice, a kind of a nice messy effect one, which again I think lends itself to you working on top of it. Some great layers here. This is, again, I think is one of Claire's previous stencils, it's called Beleaf. Some of her stamp in the background here. So if you've got some of Claire's previous designs in your stash that you bought from us in the past, then of course they're going to immediately connect into these papers. I love this kind of abstract leaves again, that kind of, you can see how the watercolors have merged, the splatters, all of that is what Claire's done for us. This is one I think she's created kind of digitally, these fantastic leaves. It's got a kind of splattery background, but I love this one. Again, you could cut these I keep buffing on the screen. I'm nervous I'm losing you. We keep saying if there are, I know I've been doing lives with new releases on a regular basis in the last few weeks because we've had so many, but not every live is going to be about a new release. So if there are, we're frozen, I'm back. I'm frozen, I'm back. So if there are things that you would like to see me demo with, or just revisit or get inspiration for, whether it just be pattern papers, whether it be some of our dies or stamps, then please do message. I think I'm back. I'm going to keep talking. I think I'm back. I keep seeing from the comments that I'm back. So yeah, if you've got things you'd like to see further demos with, then please do shout out, either send me a message, send me an email, or put it in the Facebook group, and I can always incorporate that into a future live. Oh, I'm back. Isn't this? I didn't want to flick past this page while I was buffering, because it's gorgeous. Isn't that gorgeous? These florals. I think that's fantastic. And then we're back into the water. Again, a mixed media background that Claire has done for us. And that's what I love about Claire's papers, is you can see the texture of the paper that she was working on. You get unexpected colours and splatters in there that, you know, just make it feel really organic. And then I love this one, very elegant. So this matches the glass mat as well, Adele. So I should keep it on this, shouldn't I? But again, you've got a lovely area of white space to work in. Another kind of greenery foliage one, and I think that is the end of the paper pads. So really versatile paper pads. I personally think they are abstract papers that that are designed very much to encourage you to use them, stamp on them, customize them. But again, you've got those focal points, and you've got some really elegant papers like the florals in there too. So it does a bit of everything, this paper, Pat. You can see why it's designed to go with our flamingos. So I've shown you the stencil already, which is kind of hand drawn by Claire. So this again obviously will work brilliantly with the styling of the stamps. And then let's have a look at these amazing stamps. So there's an A5 and 2 A6s in this collection, and again all hand drawn by Claire. She's got, and this is an A5 stamp set. These are large images. So you've got your 2 flamingos obviously creating the heart, and quite a classic image there. You know, your flamingos in different kind of poses that you typically see them in. And then you've got fantastic sentiments like don't make me put my foot down, stay balanced, strike a pose. So kind of a fun twist on the kind of the way the flamingos appear in the imagery. So it's the A5 one, and then there's a further A6 one with the flamingos on, and this is filling pretty much the whole of this A6 sheet. So I think this flamingo is around 13 centimeters tall. So so this is going to kind of really fill a card front, or if you're doing a journal page, it will hold its own as a focal point on that. So you can you see how he or she is taller than these 2 flamingos on the A5. So you've got different scales for your flamingos. And then this flamingo, Claire wanted to be able to dress it up. So you've got a tutu, top hat, crown, bow tie. It's a little monocle, a really tiny little stamp. There's a monocle, and like a deer stalker hat. So this is very much about having fun with the main focal image and adding embellishments to it if you want to, or not, depending on how you want to go. But yeah, the tall flamingo is really cool because I think it's when you think about these 8x8 papers, it's just going to really kind of stand proud on those projects. So you've got an A5 and an A6, and then the final A6 is kind of in that very distinctive style of Claire's collections. So when we've had collections in the past, we've had the stars, the butterflies, the hearts. I think that's it. Which are hand-drawn images, but then Claire puts book text into them. So this is part of effectively of that kind of range of almost book text style images. So they're great. I mean, different kind of shapes, again, not perfect shapes in relation to them being hand-drawn. So these, I think, they're going to give a really cool look. I think they're really unusual and work very much in the same spirit as Claire's other text-based background designs, if that makes sense. I'm sure lots of you will have seen Claire's work before. So, hi Dieta, lovely to see you. Hi Angela. Oh, great! Thank you for joining us, everybody. Hi Jess. Hi Sue. Yes, so I think I'm kind of low on stock of Claire's previous collections, but I think I've got some of the paper stars and the paper hearts left. So again, if that's the kind of style that works for you, then you can pick up other designs from Claire in that style. And of course, remember that fantastic A6 Shoot for the Stars stamp that she did, which is tiny text. It's all kind of positive affirmation statements. I should know. I actually typed it out. But all about shooting for the stars and kind of being positive, and of course it's in about that scale, so you can add that text element to any outline image if you wish to. You've got that option with that A6 stamp. So that will be the main collection on Create and Craft on Monday, 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock. But I've got some other bits and pieces to add that extend this collection. That will be available as a single collection. But I'm always mindful of price point and making sure that I don't make the main bundle too expensive. So I have an additional item. There'll be a separate item on the counter, but I highly recommend adding this in, because I just think this is a summer perennial. You're going to use this so much, and you can see from this set of dies that they're large images. Let me get a ruler here. So this large monstera leaf is 7 centimeters by 6.5. So you can see that these are going to be, they're going to work perfectly with the stamps, but they're slightly bigger in scale than the stamps. So they're fabulous. It's been really lovely. So that's a separate item on the counter, but as you can see, will go brilliantly with the collection that Claire has bought us. And then, of course, I couldn't miss the opportunity to put together one of our little stencil bundles. So we've got 4 stencils, because these are ones I've cut. We're back to the 4 for the price of 3 offer that I typically do on Create and Craft, and also bring to my shop after we've had the shows. And this is a combination of mainly new stencils. There's only one in here that is a kind of a repeat of one that we had bought out previously. So we've got our fabulous kind of flamingo rose. So I just think that's going to be a cool one. Just a cool background. It's fun. It's just going to, you just have that even on one of the big sentiments on the front, and it's going to make a cool card. You can have all the flamingos in one color, maybe in kind of gray or whatever, but then pick out one in pink and have it as the one that stands out. So it's a really easy to use stencil. We've got our leaves. So of course, so this is a kind of, this isn't designed to go with the stamp, as in it's not scaled and they're not the same images, but this is all about layering, isn't it? So you're going to be able to use your papers, to stencil on top of the papers and then add the dies as a further bit of dimension. I think that's going to be a really cool look. But these are, I just love these. I do love these. And you'll see from Sarah's samples, she's used them too. This one's called Blooming Tropical. And this is one of those where you can pick out the different elements. If you have one of our smaller blending brushes, you'll be able to do your leaves in green and pick out the hibiscus flowers, etc., to get different colors, or just do it all in one color. It's going to look cool however you do it. I was thinking maybe I would do the leaf, and I'm thinking aloud in terms of what I might do as demos. And I see our fabulous Laura's on, and Laura's on the DT for Wow, for the embossing powders. And I was just thinking, Laura, that I could kind of ink all the leaves in green, and then maybe use heat embossing to bring some colour to the flowers. So lots of ways to use this one. Do I keep going away, Carol? Oh, I'm hoping I'm not disappearing too often. And this is the one that's the repeat that I already have on the shop. So for those of you that have been collecting my stencils for a while, you may have this one already. And I always like to point out where it's one that we've had in the past, because I'm sure you're as bad as me for buying the same thing twice and not realizing it. So this is on the shop and has been on the shop before. But if you haven't got it and you do like the look of these 3 stencils, then as a bundle, I think it's going to have all your summery occasions covered. Whether you want to use this as a single focal point, you want to have a fun background. I just think there's just lots you can do with this. And one of the items I'm going to have on the counter on Monday, which obviously you've seen before, but I just think it's worth a heads up because of the way it works so brilliantly with this whole collection. It's party dress and black tie. So it's 2 of our Starlight Paste. I just think as a duo, this works brilliantly. This is the perfect flamingo pink. And then of course you've got the black to give you some of those contrast details. I'm thinking the pink on the stencil here for the hibiscus. So I will be using these pastes and the clear one in my demo. This is oh, I'm back. Did you miss me? So they're the new things that I have on the counter on Monday. As I say, I won't take you through Mermaid Tails again because we've had a live and a demo with that, but that will be on the counter for the first time on Create and Craft. Let's see some amazing samples. So Sarah's been an absolute superstar in getting these to me quick time. So I'm so glad I'm able to share them with you this evening. Oh, good. You've been using the paste of the flamingos too, Brian. Great minds. So here's a great example from Sarah in that she's used the paper. You can see, remember that blue, the kind of ripples paper. She's created a wreath almost to give an aperture for the flamingo. She's used the stencil in the background in the pink. And you can see here what a lovely size these dies are for creating your leaves. Yeah, that is. I was thinking, and then of course, sorry, and then here she's used the stamps with the text on. So all of those are working seamlessly together. Isn't that beautiful? That is summer on a card, isn't it? And she's so clever at how she colours her images as well. I always look at her images and think, I think she normally uses watercolour brush markers. But she gets great effects with them. And then here you can see how she's used that larger flamingo from Claire and dressed it up with a top hat and tutu and added some fantastic gold detail as well. It really pops on in real life here. Lots of those dies creating that kind of foliage and the paper in the background. And those pinks and greens, so fresh. And I was looking at flamingos when I was doing some colouring last night, and I didn't realise you could get blue flamingos. I know they change colour depending on their diet, don't they? So I've seen white flamingos with a bit of pink, and I've seen obviously pink flamingos. I haven't seen blue ones, so I don't know what they eat. But this was great, doesn't it? So she's cut out the sentiment from the paper pad here. It's that slightly larger one. The ripple stencil in the background, or as a kind of grounding for this flamingo. And then the crown. I have only just seen this as though I'm looking at it now. The crown says it's fallen off its head because it's bending down. I love that. I love that effect. So, and Claire's typically will offer us really kind of positive affirmation type sentiments, so which are great for journaling. They're great for card making as well, but always great for kind of giving yourself that kind of positive you can get. Oh yes, I think I've seen black flamingos, Brian. I know you've been experimenting with your flamingo color combos, but here's another blue one from Sarah, again using the papers in the background. These leaves. You know, I'm looking at that thinking, oh, that's not one of the leaves from the stamp set because it's too big. But she's also used a die. She's used a die and cut a piece of text paper out of it. So that's a really great idea. So you could extend your designs if you wanted to by matching in the stamp images with the dies. I'm sure she'll correct me if I'm talking absolute rubbish. And look at this one. So this is like a gatefold card. So of course she's embraced the kind of that romantic couple on the A5s. And I'm sorry, I'm reaching for what she's done. Obviously she's cut them apart. To create either side of the gatefold, added bow ties, top hat and crown, and then I think she's then cut out the heart that is created by the kind of couple as they stand together. They can be orange too, Shannon. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to do some proper research to get some demos ready for Monday, so I'll make sure I use all the appropriate flamingo colours. And then, of course, it opens up. It says, "You are amazing." What a great! It's like a great anniversary card or wedding card. Love birds. One of the sentiments. She's even cut out from the paper pad that page of focal points has got little cocktail glasses, or so she's cut those out and added them there. Isn't that just glorious? Have you gone off and done research, Adele? Are they the rarest? I quite like the idea of black flamingos. That for me feels a bit glamorous. Yeah, but what is the food, Shannon? What is the food that makes them blue? Oh, have they got some black ones at Lotherton, Glynis? Where we go in Spain, the lakes near there, I think they're like salt lakes, and they've got white flamingos on them. But I'll check it. I didn't know they had flamingos at Lotherton. They'll be chilly there, won't they? Distracted myself yet again. Apologies, everybody. And then here's the final sample from our Sarah. Stenciling in the background. She's layered up the foliage on this flamingo. And he's wearing a top hat and bow tie because it's very stylish, and we've got find your own style, which is one of the sentiments from the stamp sets. So I'm hoping you can see from these how many directions you can take it in. And so the design team make cards because that's samples that they're able then to send to me that I can take onto TV. But for those of you that also like your art journaling, and I know lots of you do, I'm sure you can see how these are going to fit in that art journaling kind of context as well. So black. Crafting stash. I am going in and out a lot tonight, aren't I? I don't know why. Okay. Now no sound, now I'm frozen. Bear with me. No, I'm on the right network. I'm hoping I'm back and you can still see and hear me. I'm back again, but no sound. That'd be a bonus for lots of you. I wonder what it is. Oh, hi, Nicola. Lovely to see you. Can I just say, young lady, your scientist samples are just stunning. Really fabulous work. I've loved seeing those. I'm back. Shall I demo before they cut me off? Before they take me off air for good. So let's see, what was it? I'm going to stand up. You know, I like to stand standing up, and let's see what I've got here on my crafty table and what we can do. So I've got obviously my stamps already out. I thought, of course, for those of you that do follow our lovely Tony and Stamps by Me, the fuchsia card blanks from Tony, I'm assuming she still has them in stock. Perfect with this collection. Really will make your designs pop. So that's a little top tip from me. I've got lots of bits already cut and die cut, so let me just sort myself out so we can. What I want to do is create a frame like this, just with the stencil and the ink. And you can see here a massive great smudge, and that's because I thought I'd be clever and try and stencil through the stencil with the bigger brush, which of course was too big, and I should have used a smaller one. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to be putting the die cut leaves in that corner. So remember, you can always hide your glitches. But I thought I'd just tell you that was there. So let's do this first and foremost. Let's get some ink around the edges of this card and draw the eye in. You know, that's how I often like to start with my projects. So I'm going to use one of the bigger brushes to go around the edge, but you'll see me then using a smaller brush, because what we're going to do is pick out individual leaves. So I'm not going to use all of those leaves from this stencil as a single background. I'm going to pick out individual leaves to go around the edges, which is why I needed the smaller brush, because whilst there is a good amount of space around them, you're going to run the risk of getting ink where you don't want it. So let's see, what greens was I using? The greens I was using for my leaves today were Evergreen Bough and Mowed Lawn. And Evergreen Bough is a colour I haven't used for ages, but I thought it had a nice level of teal to it to tie in with this kind of foliage. So I'm just going to knock this off on the side. This again is going to be largely covered by our stenciling, but I quite like having a bit of ink down to start with, just to draw the eye in. I'm just taking those edges off. You can see how I'm just moving that brush. I know I've not got a massive amount of ink on there, so I can move it quite freely around the edges. Really? Dieta, is that true? There are no blue flamingos? Are you sure? I saw loads of pictures of blue flamingos when I looked online. Gosh, I better get some proper research done here. Oh, you've been to yoga, Nicola. Oh, well, very good. That's very healthy. That's very healthy. It's too wet to go out. I was meant to go over and see Tony today. Just messaged him and said, it's just too wet. I'm just too depressed to leave the house. And talking of Tony, I'm sure you'll have all seen online that we're lining back up for another craft battle. I think it's next, it's the 30th, isn't it? Is that next Thursday? So one of the reasons for me bobbing around to see Tony, I'll do it tomorrow now, was to get this Bookazine magazine offer, so I could just kind of prepare myself mentally for doing our battle challenges with those stamps, stencils and papers from the magazine. I don't think it's available yet in the UK, everybody, before you ask. But I think that's what we're battling with. There we go. Bit of ink around the edge. How easy is that to do? And because this brush I have been using Mowed Lawn and Evergreen Bough on it, I've got a bit of both on there. It's not a true Evergreen Bough colour, just in case you're wondering as you look through your screen at the image. What am I rubbing in a towel? There is no, but yet I'm very upset that you just told me there were no blue flamingos. I was very excited about my blue flamingos. I've never seen one in real life, so you are obviously right that they don't exist, but they do in Craft World. So I'm now going to be selecting bits of the stencil to create the frame. I'm not going to go all the way around the card, because as you can see I've got one done already, and I want to try and fit 2 quick demos in, so I'm not going to go right the way around the card. I'm just looking to see. Oh yeah, so if I get a Scooby on, I'll be able to get you 2 demos done. So this is Evergreen Bough. I've moved to my smaller brush just so I can have a little bit more control over where the ink goes, particularly this leaf here that I'm inking at the moment. Oops, it is quite close to the edge of the stencil. So of course you could mask off the edge of your stencil, but because I'm wanting to move the stencil around, I didn't want to faff with doing too much masking on this occasion. So I'm just pulling. You can see how I'm working with the brush. I'm just pulling the ink in. I'm pulling the ink into the image here. And I often talk with the brushes about how you can be quite kind of gung-ho and get your ink down really easily. the reason I'm being slightly more tentative with this image is you've got elements in here, you can see elements in here which are not connected right the way down. So they will move, even with your brushes, they will move. The brush shouldn't lift them, but they might move a little bit. So again, work with the direction of the stencil just to keep them defined. If they really bother you and you find them irritating, you could literally cut them off if you want to. I mean, they're not going to really significantly change the impact of the design. They're there if you want them, but you could cut them cut that off with a scissor if you didn't want to have to try and take it into account when doing your inking. And you don't need to go all the way around a card to do this. I thought it was quite a nice way of framing the card. So here we go with our second small leaf. You see how quickly you'll be able to build your design up. Just go down one side of the card. So this leaf here is quite close to the other one. So again, just being mindful of that. And that's why having sometimes the smaller brushes helps you work without necessarily doing your masking and getting your masking tape on to isolate elements of the design. Got that one inked. Oops, excuse me. So you can see, I really like this. Let's do one more in the corner before I then become completely absorbed in my inking. I don't think you need to see me go all the way around the card to get the general gist. So I put this stencil together with the view that it could be used as a single background, or you've got fantastic images that you could ink it as a single, it's one pass, say with paste or whatever, and then cut them out and use them as embellishments. They're a nice size leaf. So as a single background or as a sheet of different leaf styles for embellishments, it's going to really work either way. Oh, thanks, Jane. See you soon, darling. So there we go. So there you can see how we wrong card. So how that you carry on round the design, you'll get that full frame. So you're already creating that kind of almost like tropical aperture or space for your focal point to go. I've already cut a mat for it, so I'm going to have a black mat on this. And the reason being is I thought it'd be cool to have one of the bigger pieces of pattern paper in the background, but I wanted something to separate the green from the pink before we mat it onto the main fuchsia card. So again, working out there and keeping my main card panel in quite a contrasting colour. Oh, thanks, Carol. Yeah, I do. Well, you know, I love my brushes because they're the kind of thing I use. They're my go-to for pretty much any stenciling I might do. Just very, very easy to use. We'll mat that down. There we go. So I'm going to just put these all together and then we can work on our focal point. Actually, yeah, well, I'll stick it all down and then let's add our focal points, because I've already coloured and cut out a flamingo. I think I went with a white flamingo with the touches of pink, because I think the ones that are white, you can still kind of get a pinkish tinge on them, can't you? So that's what I went with. That's my excuse. And then I'll have to, when I go off air, I'll have to check in with Mr. Google and see what I need to know about flamingos. Is that Brian heading off? See you later, Brian, lovely. All right, there we go. So although this is quite a large card base, card blank, you can see how easy it is to expand the design out. But let's see what we can do. So what I've got here is one of the flamingos. Really surprisingly easy to colour in, actually, and cut out. You could, if you wish to, cut out that little bit, the arch there where the neck is, if you want to take a knife to it. And then I've got some of the fantastic dies, die cut. So I've die cut these the large leaves from the pattern paper. So they've already got that variation of colour and tone, and they've got a bit of pink in there as well. So this is where we're able to cover up our offending smudge. I thought, I don't know, what do you tell me what you think? You know, I like you to guide me through. I was thinking it'd probably be quite nice to have some black leaves as well, because I didn't want everything to then just merge into the greenness. So if we do something like that, maybe have that there. Yeah, what do you think? And that gives it, well, actually can tuck him in to the foliage a little bit there. How does that look? Maybe have him standing a bit proud. There. I'm not going to stick these down just because it'll take me ages to stick them down, and I do faff for ages, but I think you can see, I think maybe having the black does give it a little bit of contrast. Let's put a sentiment on those. So we've still got a nice bit of white space here, perfect for a sentiment. And let's stamp a sentiment. Let's see what we could go with. I do like that. Don't make me put my foot down. And it just makes me smile. I'm going to do that. I'm not quite sure who you'd send a card to with that sentiment on. Don't make me put my foot down. But it just made me chuckle. For a creature that spends so much of its time on one foot. Yeah. And it fits that space nicely as well, doesn't it? So let's stamp it. Getting an acrylic block to pick this up. I don't think I've got layers here that are going to affect the stamp image unduly. I wouldn't normally stamp directly onto a card at this point in its construction, but I'm feeling brave. Just how we roll on a Wednesday live. Oh, just slightly missed the N. I don't be able to go back in with a black fine liner and fill that in. Let me lift it up so you can see. So yeah, I just need to strengthen that. Or if I'm not happy about it, I can always white heat emboss it on black card and stick it down over the top. But I think I'll be able to salvage that. Isn't that cool? Yeah, that's what I think, Dawn. I think you're right. I think the black just ties that in a little bit more, doesn't it? You've got a few little bits of black now, just giving the whole card definition. So there's one, and then the second one is just is super quick. Effectively the same idea, but showing how it can look different in a different color combo. And this is quite a kind of different style, but I've done exactly the same thing. So I put black ink around the side of the card, and then I've used exactly as I showed you before. I've inked through the stencil, but in black sort. So it's quite dark and dramatic. And then I've used that fabulous Stella Pace, the party dress, on the flamingo stencil. That's why I did it in advance. It would have taken me far too long to wait for that to dry in a live. But doesn't that look? So I think, you know, you can go quite fresh and bright, or you can go kind of quite dramatic in the blacks and pinks. I do love black and pink as a color combo. So we can stick that down. But then I had my next dilemma that I will share with you in a second. Oh, I was admiring your mermaid mix, Roxy, on the Facebook group. I have to ration myself on Facebook when I've got lots of orders to pack, because it could just suddenly absorb hours. And I know you won't be happy. It might be nice if I leave a comment, but if I don't get your orders out, then it won't be a good excuse, will it? It's on Facebook. Oh, hi, Therese. I sent you your embossing powders today, very late, and I do apologise, but they're on their way to you, sweetheart. Got there in the end. And remember, everybody, 2 of this main collection, I'll be giving those away this evening. So that's really super. So this is a smaller card. Let me bring in the other one just to give you an idea of scale. So it's a smaller card. So I've not gone with the paper on the outside. I've just kept it with the black and pink. But then, what I did was I stamped and coloured the larger flamingo. I was like, oh, gonna get lost. Too much going on in the background. You did, Adele. You did like and share. So I thought, right, okay, we're going to need to find a way of giving this some separation from the background. And I thought, well, the black leaves, die cutting them in black is going to give, it's tying in with the colour way. And it's going to just give this something to ground it and keep it separate. So I hope you agree. So I've taken the legs off my flamingo, because this is a square card and he would be too tall for this card. And I'm thinking, I think that works in as far as his body has got some definition there, hasn't it? But then his head's got lost. Oh, I have a little crown for him as well. I did, or her. So let me stick the crown on. So I've cut out. You could, if I'd had time, you could do your masking. So you could make this as a single image with your tutu or your crown. You could do masking and kind of layer up the image that way. But in the interest of time, I stamped it and coloured it separately. So there. How cool! Got a little party hat on now. So we can put that there, but as I say, I do think he's a little bit still fighting with that background. So this is where I went for one of the bigger sentiments from the paper pad, because I thought we can have that at a jaunty angle. It won't get lost, and it's immediately going to give the flamingo's head something to be contrasting against. So all I'm going to do, just to tie this in with the background, is add a little bit of black ink. So I just literally cut it, excuse me, just literally cut it from the paper pad, done nothing else. I'm just going to add a little bit of ink. A little bit of ink around the edge. Don't want too much here. It just stops it looking like it's being plonked on. Tap off onto your mat if you want to, if you're ever worried about how much ink, you've got a juicy ink pad or you're not sure how much you picked up. I always tap off and cause Adele distress by not then wiping my mat. Oh, and then the other thing I thought, oh, I'm just coming up to the hour. Oh, that was good timing, everybody. So look, you see, I think it just adding that little bit of black will make all the difference. Do you think it makes a difference too? And I won't do it in the live because I don't want to take up all your evening. But then I was thinking when I was looking at it, can buffer in all over the place. There we go. But you can see how just using a different colorway, you've got the drama, still a bit of black in both, but you've got the drama of the green and pink or the black and pink. Have I left the room? I haven't left the room. I'm still here, Adele. Have I gone? Have I gone or have I come back? Hopefully I've come back briefly, but I'm not going to try my luck any longer. I'm gonna close the live now before I lose you all again. And you've stuck with me for the hour and kept me company. I really appreciate it, as always on a Wednesday. So I hope you like the new collection. I hope you'll be tuning in on it's Create Craft on Monday. They've Imala Carly from Stamps by Me is the one-day special, so you've got no excuse. You can watch the one-day special and my shows, and it'll give you a whole evening of crafting entertainment on Monday. You'll be seeing lots more samples and inspiration with these fabulous designs from Claire from Our Journal Love. But I hope you like what you've seen so far, and we'll be keeping an eye out. I think TV have told me that they will drop the price and it'll be available as of Friday. So I will, of course, tell you as soon as it's available. But thank you for watching and sharing and liking and commenting and keep me company. I will, after this live, I will put the names of 2 giveaway winners on the Facebook group. So keep a lookout for that. And I think that's it from me. Enjoy the rest of your week. I hope the sun starts shining for us all. And I will be, well, I won't see you next Wednesday because our Belinda Basson is going to be live doing Why Not Wednesday next Wednesday. But certainly tune in because there'll be lots more Funky Fossil inspiration for you then. And I'll say goodbye for now. See you soon. Take care. Bye.